The control room of the Zalarian exploration vessel was a masterpiece of precision and efficiency. Its walls shimmered with faint bioluminescence, the circuitry embedded within pulsing like the veins of a living organism. Monitors displayed readings from across the galaxy, data streams flowing seamlessly into the ship's neural core. Commander Lyrics stood at the central console, their translucent hands manipulating the holographic interface with practiced ease. The Zalarians were a species that prided themselves on logic and order, their civilization thriving on a foundation of scientific mastery. Gardening, with its unpredictable growth and reliance on organic chaos, was a concept they dismissed as primitive and inefficient. But on this particular day, something was amiss. A faint, almost imperceptible scent hung in the air, a mix of earth and something sweetly vegetal. Lyrics's sensory receptors flared with confusion. The control room was a sterile environment, carefully maintained to prevent contamination. There should have been no scent at all. Ensign Drav, Lyrics called, their melodic voice resonating through the chamber. Run a diagnostic on the atmospheric filters. There is an anomaly. Drav, a younger member of the crew, approached the console with a flicker of unease in their bioluminescent patterns. Commander, the filters are functioning within parameters, they said. There is no indication of a breach. Lyrics frowned, their patterns dimming as they considered the possibilities. Then the source must be internal. Conduct a scan for organic matter. As the scan commenced, a soft rustling sound drew their attention. Lyrics turned, their gaze falling on an object that should not have existed in the control room. A single green tendril curling out from beneath the console. The tendril swayed gently, as if seeking the light, its surface glistening with tiny droplets of moisture. "What is that?" Lyrics demanded, their voice sharp with disbelief. Drav approached cautiously, their patterns flickering with a mix of curiosity and alarm. "It appears to be a plant," they said. "But how could it have?" Before they could finish, the tendril began to grow at an alarming rate. Within moments, it had extended across the floor, its leaves unfurling like tiny solar panels. Bright red spheres began to form along its length, their vibrant color a stark contrast to the control room's muted hues. Lyrics stepped back, their bioluminescence flaring with alarm. "This is impossible," they said. "Plants cannot grow in a sealed environment without soil or water. Drav, contain it immediately." Drav reached for a containment field generator, their hands trembling as the plant continued to expand. The tendrils snaked up the walls, wrapping around conduits and monitors. The red spheres, tomatoes, though the Zalarians did not know the term, began to pulse with a soft, organic glow. "Commander," Drav said, their voice tight with fear. "It's interfacing with the ship's systems." Lyrics turned to the central console, where the holographic interface was flickering erratically. Lines of alien code scrolled across the screens, interspersed with unfamiliar symbols. The ship's neural core, an advanced AI designed to process vast amounts of data, was displaying signs of distress. "Shut it down," Lyrics ordered. "Isolate the core before the contamination spreads." Drav attempted to comply, but the plant seemed to anticipate their actions. Tendrils lashed out, severing access to the controls. The ship shuddered as its systems began to malfunction, lights dimming and alarms blaring. "It's adapting," Drav said, their patterns flaring with panic. "Commander, what do we do?" Lyrics's mind raced, their logical nature grappling with the unprecedented situation. The plant's growth defied all known laws of biology, its rapid expansion and apparent intelligence raising questions they could not yet answer. But one thing was clear, this was no ordinary organism. "We must understand it," Lyrics said at last, their voice steady despite the chaos around them. "Prepare for a full analysis. If we cannot contain it, we must find a way to coexist with it." Drav hesitated, their patterns flickering with doubt. Coexist? With a plant? Lyrics turned to face them, their bioluminescence glowing with determination. "This is no mere plant, Ensign. It is a challenge to our understanding of the universe. And as Zalarians, it is our duty to rise to that challenge." As the tendrils continued their relentless advance, Lyrics and Drav retreated to the ship's auxiliary control room. The plant had already overtaken nearly half of the primary control chamber, its glowing tomatoes casting an eerie light across the sterile surfaces. "What could have caused this?" Drav asked, their voice tinged with desperation. "There is no record of any biological sample aboard the ship." Lyrics activated the auxiliary console, bringing up the ship's logs. Their translucent fingers moved rapidly across the holographic interface. "Scan the cargo manifest," they said. "Anything that could have introduced organic matter must be accounted for." As Drav initiated the scan, Lyrics reviewed the logs from their most recent planetary survey. The Zalarians had visited a lush, Earth-like world known as Rova 3, its dense jungles teeming with life. Though their exploration had been limited to remote observation, it was possible that a fragment of biological material had somehow attached itself to their equipment. "Commander," Drav said, their patterns pulsing with alarm. "The cargo manifest shows no anomalies. However, there is a discrepancy in the inventory of the survey drones." Lyric's gaze snapped to the screen. "Explain." Drav hesitated before responding. One of the drones returned with trace amounts of organic residue on its surface. The decontamination process flagged it as negligible and allowed it to pass through. Lyric's patterns flared with frustration. "Negligible? This is anything but negligible." The ship shuddered violently, interrupting their conversation. Alarms blared as the neural core systems began to cascade into failure. The plant, now fully integrated with the ship, seemed to be exerting control over its functions. Monitors displayed erratic patterns, as if the ship itself was trying to communicate. "It's learning," Lyric said, their voice grim. "Whatever this organism is, it's evolving at an unprecedented rate. We must find a way to communicate with it." Drav's patterns flickered with disbelief. "Communicate with a plant? Commander, it's destroying the ship, and we cannot stop it with force alone," Lyrics replied. "If it has intelligence, then understanding it may be our only hope of survival." The Zalarians, despite their reliance on logic and technology, had long recognized the value of communication in resolving conflicts. Lyrics accessed the ship's universal translator, adapting it to interface with the plant's signals. It was a risky endeavor, one that could yield no results or, worse, provoke the organism further. As the translator began processing the plant's patterns, a series of symbols appeared on the screen. At first, they were nonsensical, a jumble of shapes and colors that defied interpretation. But as the translator refined its algorithms, a single phrase emerged: grow, adapt, thrive. Lyrics stared at the words, their bioluminescence dimming with thought. "It's not just a plant," they said. "It's a living system, a network designed to spread and evolve." Drav's patterns flared with skepticism. "But why here? Why now?" "Perhaps it perceives this ship as fertile ground," Lyrics suggested. "A closed system rich in energy and resources. But its rapid growth is destabilizing everything. If we cannot find balance, it will consume us." The translator continued to process the plant's signals, revealing more fragments of its language. Words like sustain, connect, and flourish appeared, interspersed with bursts of organic imagery that seemed to convey emotions or intentions. "It's not hostile," Lyrics said, their voice tinged with awe. "It's driven by instinct to survive, to grow. But it doesn't understand the consequences of its actions." Drav glanced at the screen, their patterns flickering with a mix of fear and fascination. "If we teach it," they said hesitantly, "do you think it will listen?" Lyrics turned to face them, their expression resolute. "We have no choice but to try. Prepare the nutrient replicators. If it seeks growth, we may be able to redirect its energy away from the ship systems." Working together, Lyrics and Drav devised a plan to create an artificial environment within the cargo bay, a space where the plant could grow without endangering the ship. They synthesized a nutrient-rich substrate and modified the bay's atmospheric controls to mimic the conditions of Rova 3. As they worked, the plant's tendrils continued to expand, but its movements became less erratic. The glowing tomatoes, once chaotic in their growth, began to cluster around the consoles where the translator was active, as if responding to the Zalarians' efforts. Finally, the cargo bay was ready. Lyrics activated the environmental controls, filling the space with light and warmth. Using a series of pulses and signals, they communicated their intentions to the plant, guiding its tendrils toward the open hatch. At first, the plant resisted, its growth faltering as if unsure of the Zalarians' motives. But as the nutrient-rich air wafted through the hatch, its tendrils began to shift, drawn toward the promise of sustenance. "It's working," Drav said, their patterns glowing with relief. "It's moving." The process was slow, each tendril retracting carefully from the ship systems and slithering into the cargo bay. The plant's glowing tomatoes pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light, as if expressing a tentative trust. When the last tendril had entered the bay, Lyrics sealed the hatch and activated the containment field. The plant, now confined to its new environment, began to spread across the nutrient substrate, its growth becoming more controlled and less destructive. Lyrics and Drav watched through the observation window, their bioluminescence glowing softly. "We did it," Drav said, their voice tinged with wonder. "We coexisted." Lyrics nodded, their gaze fixed on the vibrant, thriving organism. "This is only the beginning," they said. "We have much to learn from this entity, and it, perhaps, has much to learn from us." The days that followed were a delicate balancing act. The plant, now confined to the cargo bay, continued to grow at an astonishing rate. Its tendrils formed intricate patterns across the wall, walls, creating a living tapestry of vibrant green and glowing red. The tomatoes it produced pulsed softly, emitting a low hum that resonated throughout the bay. Lyrics and Drav monitored the organism closely, their initial wariness giving way to cautious curiosity. Using the translator, they communicated with the plant, teaching it the boundaries of its new environment. In return, the plant began to adapt, adjusting its growth patterns to accommodate the space provided. "It's learning," Drav said one day, their bioluminescence glowing with a mix of pride and disbelief. "Commander, it's responding to our guidance." Lyrics observed the plant through the observation window, their expression thoughtful. "It is intelligent, but its intelligence is unlike anything we have encountered. It operates on instincts that prioritize growth and connection. If we can understand those instincts, we may unlock insights that extend beyond this ship." As they studied the plant, the Zalarians discovered unexpected properties in its glowing tomatoes. When analyzed, the fruit revealed a complex molecular structure that seemed to enhance neural activity. Consuming even a small amount led to heightened awareness and improved cognitive function, a discovery that left Lyrics both intrigued and wary. "This could revolutionize our understanding of biology," Drav said, their patterns pulsing with excitement. "Imagine the applications for our species, and imagine the consequences," Lyrics countered. "If this organism's capabilities are exploited without understanding, it could destabilize entire ecosystems or civilizations." Their caution was soon validated when the plant began to exhibit signs of distress. Its tendrils quivered, and its glowing tomatoes dimmed, their hum faltering. Lyrics and Drav scrambled to identify the cause, their bioluminescence flickering with urgency. "The nutrient substrate is depleting faster than anticipated," Drav reported, their voice tight with concern. "If we don't find a way to sustain it, the organism may deteriorate or attempt to escape containment." Lyrics's mind raced as they considered their options. The ship's resources were finite, and dedicating more to the plant could jeopardize the crew's survival. Yet, allowing the organism to perish would mean losing an unprecedented opportunity to learn from it. "We must find balance," Lyrics said at last. "If we can integrate the plant into the ship's ecosystem without compromising its systems, we may create a sustainable solution." Working tirelessly, Lyrics and Drav developed a plan to integrate the plant into the ship's life support systems. By modifying the oxygen recyclers and water filtration units, they created a symbiotic loop that allowed the plant to thrive while contributing to the ship's functionality. The process was fraught with challenges. The plant's rapid growth threatened to overwhelm the systems, forcing the Zalarians to constantly adapt their approach. Yet with each obstacle, they learned more about the organism's nature and capabilities. As the integration progressed, the plant began to exhibit new behaviors. Its tendrils formed intricate, lattice-like structures that seemed to mimic the ship's design, as if attempting to communicate its understanding of its environment. The glowing tomatoes, once purely organic, began to emit faint, structured pulses of light, patterns that Lyrics and Drav realized were a rudimentary form of language. "It's evolving," Drav said, their voice tinged with awe. "Commander, it's not just responding to us. It's trying to teach us something." Through painstaking analysis, the Zalarians deciphered the plant's patterns, uncovering messages that conveyed a profound philosophy: growth through connection, strength through balance, harmony through coexistence. The words resonated deeply with Lyrics, whose logical nature had long dismissed the organic chaos of gardening as inefficient. Yet here, in the heart of their meticulously engineered ship, an organism born of chaos had demonstrated the potential for order and understanding. As the plant flourished, its integration with the ship became a symbol of harmony between logic and life. The crew, initially alarmed by the organism's presence, began to see it as a vital part of their mission. The plant's glowing tomatoes were shared sparingly, their properties enhancing the crew's focus and creativity. Lyrics, reflecting on the journey, addressed the crew during a rare moment of calm. "What began as a challenge to our understanding has become a partnership," they said, their bioluminescence glowing softly. "This organism has taught us that growth is not a threat but an opportunity to adapt, to learn, and to thrive together." The crew's patterns glowed in agreement, their initial fear replaced by a sense of wonder and respect. The plant, now an integral part of the ship's ecosystem, continued to grow, its tendrils forming intricate patterns that seemed almost artistic. And as the Zalarian vessel traveled through the galaxy, its glowing cargo bay a beacon of life and connection. Lyrics couldn't help but marvel at the irony. The species that had dismissed gardening as primitive had been transformed by a single tomato plant, an organism that had challenged their understanding of the universe and revealed the beauty of coexistence. Months passed, and the plant became an integral part of the Zalarian vessel. Its growth stabilized, and its glowing tomatoes pulsed with a steady rhythm that seemed seemed to synchronize with the ship's systems. The once chaotic organism now operated in harmony with its environment, a testament to the Zolarians' efforts to understand and adapt. But the peace was not to last. As the ship approached the edge of a dense nebula, an unexpected surge of energy disrupted the delicate balance they had achieved. The plant reacted immediately, its tendrils extending toward the ship's power core, as if seeking to protect itself. "Commander, the organism is destabilizing," Drav exclaimed, their patterns flaring with alarm. "If it breaches the power core, it could trigger a catastrophic failure." Lyrics acted quickly, issuing orders to isolate the power core and reroute energy to the plant's containment systems. Yet despite their efforts, the organism's behavior grew increasingly erratic, its glowing tomatoes dimming as it struggled against the ship's defenses. "It's frightened," Lyrics said, their voice steady despite the chaos. "The surge disrupted its connection to the ship. We must re-establish that connection before it destabilizes further." Drav hesitated, their bioluminescence flickering with uncertainty. "But Commander, if we allow it access to the core, we risk losing control." "We already risked that," Lyrics replied, "but this organism has shown us that it responds to trust and understanding. If we deny it now, we lose everything we've worked to build." With careful precision, Lyrics deactivated the containment systems, allowing the plant to extend its tendrils toward the power core. The crew watched in tense silence as the organism interfaced with the core, its movements slow and deliberate. First, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the ship's systems began to stabilize. The plant's glowing tomatoes brightened, their rhythmic pulses aligning with the hum of the core. The organism, once on the brink of collapse, had found balance once more. Drav exhaled in relief, their patterns glowing with admiration. "You were right, Commander. Trusted us." Lyrics nodded, their bioluminescence softening. "And we must continue to earn that trust. This is not just a plant. It is a partner, one that challenges us to grow in ways we never imagined." The incident marked a turning point in the Zolarians' relationship with the organism. The crew, once wary of its presence, now viewed it as an ally. Its glowing tomatoes became symbols of hope, their light a reminder of the potential for harmony between logic and life. As the ship ventured deeper into the galaxy, it encountered other civilizations, many of which were intrigued by the Zolarians' unique symbiosis with the organism. Some viewed it with skepticism, others with wonder, but all recognized the significance of what the Zolarians had achieved. One such encounter took place on the crystalline world of Ovlis, where the Zolarians shared their story with a council of scholars. The council, composed of beings who valued knowledge above all else, listened intently as Lyrics recounted their journey. "This organism taught us that growth is not inherently chaotic," Lyrics said. "It is a process of adaptation and connection, one that mirrors our own evolution as a species. By learning to coexist with it, we have become stronger, more resilient." The council, moved by Lyrics' words, invited the Zolarians to establish a research collaboration. Together, they sought to understand the organism's origins and its potential to inspire new ways of thinking about life and technology. Back aboard the ship, the organism continued to evolve. Its tendrils formed intricate, lattice-like patterns that glowed with a soft, rhythmic light, as if communicating its gratitude. The crew, now deeply connected to the organism, began to view it as more than just a biological anomaly. It was a symbol of their own capacity for growth and understanding. And as the Zolarian vessel traveled through the galaxy, its glowing cargo bay a beacon of life and connection. Lyrics reflected on the journey that had brought them here. What had begun as an inexplicable anomaly, a single tomato plant, had become a transformative force, challenging their perceptions and revealing the beauty of coexistence. For in the end, the plant's greatest lesson was not about growth or survival, but about the power of connection. And as the stars above shimmered with infinite possibilities, the Zolarians carried that lesson forward, a testament to the endless potential of life to adapt, thrive, and illuminate the universe. Years passed, and the Zolarian vessel became a symbol of unity across the galaxy. The plant, once a chaotic anomaly, had integrated seamlessly into the ship's ecosystem, its glowing tomatoes a source of energy, nourishment, and inspiration. The Zolarians, guided by the lessons they had learned, shared their story with civilizations far and wide, fostering a new era of collaboration and understanding. One such civilization, the Oralen, were deeply inspired by the Zolarian symbiosis with the organism. The Oralen, known for their expertise in bioengineering, proposed a joint project to explore the plant's potential as a model for sustainable ecosystems. Together, they created the Harmony Initiative, a series of habitats where organic and technological systems coexisted in perfect balance. The Harmony Initiative became a beacon of hope, attracting scientists, artists, and dreamers from across the galaxy. Its habitats, each a unique blend of life and innovation, served as living laboratories for new ideas and discoveries. The glowing tomatoes, now cultivated on multiple worlds, became symbols of resilience and connection. Back aboard the Zalarian vessel, Lyrics and Drav continued to lead their crew with a renewed sense of purpose. The ship, once a sterile environment of logic and efficiency, had transformed into a vibrant tapestry of life and learning. The plant's tendrils, now carefully guided, formed intricate patterns that mirrored the stars, a reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. One day, as the ship approached the edge of the galaxy, a signal reached the crew, a transmission from an unknown source. The signal, faint but persistent, carried a series of complex patterns that resembled the plant's language. "It's communicating," Drav said, their patterns glowing with excitement. "But it's not coming from the organism aboard our ship. It's external." Lyrics's bioluminescence flared with curiosity. "Trace the signal. If there are others like this organism, we must find them." The signal led the Zalarians to a distant star system, its central planet shrouded in vibrant clouds. As the ship descended through the atmosphere, the crew was greeted by a breathtaking sight, a world teeming with plant life that glowed with the same rhythmic light as their own organism. The planet's surface was a living mosaic, its ecosystems thriving in harmony. Tendrils similar to those aboard the Zalarian ship stretched across the landscape, their glowing fruits providing sustenance for a diverse array of creatures. At the heart of the planet was a massive structure, a natural formation that pulsed with energy, its patterns echoing the signals they had received. "It's a nexus," Lyrics said, their voice filled with awe, "a central hub for this network of life." As the Zalarians explored the planet, they discovered that the organism's intelligence extended beyond individual plants. It was a collective consciousness, a vast network that spanned worlds and connected life across the galaxy. The glowing tomatoes, once dismissed as simple fruit, were revealed to be nodes of communication, their light a language that transcended species and boundaries. The discovery of the Nexus marked a turning point in the galaxy's history. The Zalarians, alongside their allies, worked to integrate this newfound network into the broader tapestry of interstellar life. The Harmony Initiative expanded, its principles inspiring civilizations to rethink their relationship with nature and technology. And as the Zalarians stood beneath the pulsing light of the Nexus, Lyrics reflected on the journey that had brought them here. "This organism challenged everything we thought we knew," they said. "It taught us that growth is not just about survival, it's about connection, about finding strength in our differences and harmony in our shared existence." The crew's patterns glowed in agreement, their sense of purpose renewed. Together, they carried the lessons of the organism forward, a testament to the power of adaptation, resilience, and understanding. And as the stars above shimmered with infinite possibilities, the Zalarians knew that their journey was far from over. The plant's light, once confined to a single tomato, now illuminated the galaxy, a beacon of hope, unity, and boundless potential. For in the end, it was not the plant's growth that defined its legacy, but the connections it had forged. And as the infinity path stretched across the cosmos, the Zalarians carried that light forward, a reminder that even the smallest organisms could inspire the greatest transformations. Centuries after the discovery of the Nexus, the galaxy had transformed into a thriving web of interconnected civilizations. The principles of harmony and coexistence, inspired by the Zalarians' journey, had become the foundation of interstellar relations. The glowing tomatoes, once a peculiar anomaly, were now celebrated as symbols of life's boundless potential. The Harmony Initiative had grown into the Galactic Integration Accord, an alliance of species dedicated to fostering balance between nature and technology. Its members included civilizations from every corner of the galaxy, each contributing their unique perspectives to the shared pursuit of understanding. Among the Accord's most ambitious projects was the creation of the Living Archive, a vast repository of knowledge and experiences that spanned countless worlds. At its heart was the Nexus Core, a pulsating structure formed from the same organism that had first appeared aboard the Zalarian vessel. The core served as a living record of the galaxy's collective wisdom, its glowing tendrils extending across the stars. Visitors to the archive could experience the journey of the Zalarians and the plant firsthand, walking through holographic recreations of the ship's transformation and the discovery of the Nexus. The story, preserved in every detail, inspired generations to embrace curiosity, resilience, and the power of connection. One such visitor was Lyric, a young historian from the Ovalis system. Standing before the Nexus core, they marveled at the intricate patterns of light that danced across its surface. "This is where it all began," they said softly, their voice filled with wonder. A guide, their bioluminescence reflecting the core's glow, nodded. "It began with a single plant," they said, "but its roots have grown deep, connecting us all." As Lyric placed a hand on the the core, they felt a pulse of energy, a sensation of warmth and understanding that transcended words. In that moment, they understood the essence of the plant's legacy, a message of unity that spanned not just species, but galaxies and dimensions. Back on the Zalarian homeworld, Lyrics, now a revered elder, reflected on the journey that had defined their life. The organism, still thriving aboard the vessel, had become a partner in the Zalarians' exploration of the cosmos. Its tendrils, once a source of chaos, now wove patterns of light that symbolized the harmony they had achieved. In their final address to the Galactic Integration Accord, Lyrics spoke of the lessons they had learned. Growth is not just a biological process, they said. It is a philosophy, a way of seeing the universe as a tapestry of connections. Each thread, no matter how small, contributes to the whole. And it is through these connections that we find meaning, purpose, and hope. The assembly rose in a standing ovation, their applause echoing through the chamber. For Lyrics, it was a moment of profound fulfillment, a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and the willingness to adapt. As the stars above shimmered with infinite possibilities, the Zalarians and their allies continued to carry the plant's light forward. The journey of discovery, once sparked by a single tomato, now illuminated the vast expanse of the cosmos, a reminder that even the smallest organisms could inspire the greatest transformations. And as the infinity path stretched across the universe, its beacons pulsing with the light of countless connections, the Zalarians knew that their journey was far from over. The plant's legacy, woven into the fabric of existence, would endure for eons, a beacon of unity, hope, and the infinite potential of life. Millennia later, the story of the Zalarians and the plant was no longer confined to a single galaxy. The infinity path, now a network of light that spanned multiple universes, carried their legacy to realms beyond imagination. The glowing tomatoes, once a simple fruit, had become symbols of harmony and discovery, their radiant light visible across dimensions. The Nexus core, at the heart of the living archive, continued to evolve, its tendrils weaving connections between worlds and realities. Visitors from countless civilizations journeyed to the archive, their experiences enriching the galaxy's collective understanding of existence. Each visitor added their own story to the tapestry, their voices joining the chorus of life that resonated through the multiverse. Among these visitors was Aria, an interdimensional explorer whose curiosity had led them to the Nexus core. Standing before its pulsating light, Aria felt a profound sense of connection, a realization that their journey, though unique, was part of a greater whole. This light, Aria said softly, is a reminder that we are never truly alone. Every step we take, every connection we make, carries the light forward. The core's light pulsed in response, as if acknowledging Aria's words. In that moment, Aria understood the true essence of the plant's legacy, a message of unity that transcended not just space and time, but the boundaries of imagination itself. Back in the Nexus Sanctuary, the Hall of the First Leap was expanded to include a new installation, the Infinite Garden. This living monument, designed to reflect the diversity of life across the multiverse, was a place of reflection and inspiration. Its centerpiece was a single glowing tomato, preserved in a field of light, a symbol of the journey that had begun with a single seed. Visitors to the Infinite Garden described a sense of peace and purpose, as if the garden carried the essence of the plant's message. Growth is not just about survival, one inscription read. It is about connection, harmony, and the courage to embrace the unknown. In the farthest reaches of the infinity path, explorers continued to push the boundaries of existence, their journeys guided by the light of the Nexus core. Among them was Lyric, now a seasoned traveler whose adventures had taken them to realms few could imagine. Standing on the edge of a shimmering void, Lyric gazed at the stars, their heart filled with wonder. The journey never ends, Lyric said, their voice steady with resolve. And neither does the light. As the infinity path's beacons pulsed with the energy of countless connections, the multiverse resonated with the legacy of the Zalarians and the plant. Their story, preserved in every thread of the tapestry, was a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and the willingness to adapt. And as the stars above shimmered with infinite possibilities, the journey of light and life remained eternal, a reminder that even the smallest moments could ignite the brightest flames. For in the end, it was not the destinations they reached that defined them, but the connections they forged, the stories they shared, and the boundless potential they unleashed. The light of discovery, harmony, and hope continued to shine, a beacon for all who dared to dream. And as the infinity path stretched across the cosmos, its beacons carried forward the essence of life, a journey without end, illuminated by the courage to leap and the wisdom to connect. In the twilight of the galaxy's most transformative era, the infinity path reached what was believed to be its ultimate destination, a realm where the boundaries of existence dissolved into pure potential. Here, in the dimension of light, the Nexus core's tendrils extended into a luminous expanse expanse that pulsed with the energy of countless connections. The dimension of light was unlike anything the Zolarians or their allies had ever encountered. It was a place where time and space intertwined, where every step revealed new vistas of possibility. The glowing tomatoes, now a universal symbol of harmony, resonated with the realm's energy, their light amplifying the connections between dimensions. Standing at the heart of this realm was Lyrix's descendant, Aaron, a visionary leader whose journey mirrored that of their ancestor. Aaron had dedicated their life to expanding the infinity path, guided by the lessons of the plant and the Zolarian's journey. As Aaron gazed into the luminous expanse, they felt the weight of their legacy, a legacy that had begun with a single leap into the unknown. "This is what it means to carry the light," Aaron said softly, "to embrace the infinite and find unity within it." The Nexus core, now fully integrated with the dimension of light, began to emit a new pattern, one that transcended the language of the glowing tomatoes. It was a song, a symphony of light and sound that resonated across the multiverse, calling all beings to unite in celebration of their shared journey. The song reached every corner of existence, its harmonics awakening dormant dimensions and inspiring new realms of thought. Beings who had once lived in isolation found themselves connected, their experiences woven into the tapestry of life. Back in the Nexus Sanctuary, the infinite garden underwent its final transformation. The glowing tomato at its center, once a single symbol of growth, split into countless seeds that floated gently through the air. Each seed carried the essence of the plant's legacy, spreading across the galaxy to inspire new growth and connection. Among those who received a seed was a young dreamer from a distant world, whose heart burned with the desire to explore. Planting the seed in their garden, they watched as it grew, its tendrils weaving patterns of light that seemed to tell a story. "What does it mean?" the dreamer asked, their voice filled with wonder. A guide, their form shimmering with the light of the dimension of light, smiled. "It means that the journey continues," they said. "Every seed, every connection, is a step toward a future of infinite possibilities." And as the stars above shimmered with endless potential, the story of the Zolarians and the plant continued to inspire generations. The infinity path, now a living testament to the power of unity, stretched across the cosmos, its beacons carrying the light forward into realms yet undiscovered. For in the end, it was not the destinations they reached that defined their journey, but the connections they forged, the lessons they learned, and the courage they displayed in the face of the unknown. And as the light of discovery and hope illuminated the multiverse, the journey of life remained eternal, a symphony of growth, harmony, and boundless potential.